Okay, well, I did want to talk to you anyways because we watched the Lazar story on S4, and I know that you're we call them spaceships. I don't know what you physically call your craft, but um, I was just wondering, was he pretty accurate? And
So he had a part in the early extraterrestrial component within your planet. So yes, of course.
who was it? Whose ships were those?
Oh, they were all of ours. He had access to multiple versions of ships. They can be related to the Andromedans, the Greys, and the. I mean, there is imprints of the Arcturians, but they are not necessarily within your time space. But the Pleiadians, of course, have been part, but not necessarily those crafts. I would call them very much more the gray
The,
species and Andromedan components because they are the shipbuilders.
Interesting. So the ships that were at S4 were like they all looked different, but the one they showed us specifically, it appeared it would be gray associated because the seats were tiny. All the other ones were also operated by grays, or are grays kind of the
So
explorer types?
they are the ones that can come into your density way easier and are not as compatible to skip dimensions if they are caught. So they get stuck. Uh, but they do fly ships that the Andromedans made. So there is a mix of technologies. It is not just gray technology. It is grays and Andromedans. But the ships that would be of our species or our even colonies, our people, we're not those. We
Yeah,
do
I
not get
suppose.
shot down. We usually come and befriend you. We less likely get shot down. Sometimes, though, we cannot evade what is happenstance, meaning we show up somewhere and didn't realize you would be there.
So are you as a Palladians? I mean, as far as I know and what Krista knows is the Palladian species is the closest looking to a human.
Yeah, but it depends. That would be like saying your monkeys look like humans.
So you have a variety.
Yes, we have a very diverse variety. What we usually say is the first to make contact will look very much similar to you, not because they are similar to you, but they can become similar to you. So think of them like a chameleon and octopus, who can change its complexion, its physical shape when it comes into three-dimensional reality. You have your own people acting like reptilians in your own world with
Yeah,
mass.
right.
So it is not unusual even for the three-dimensional population to try to change their looks or behaviors. You're having that even be so forceful or in the plain sight of day in your own reality. And so you are starting to question, what is reality? What I'd say is not much can be reality until you get to know the soul at the most truthful, most um, specific layer where you can say that is their soul signature.
Okay, so whoever it is, you don't think it's a Palladian species that's going to be the ambassador for disclosure? But
Did you ask me a question about that? I must have missed that. You are leaping and jumping, and you are asking about ships of grays, and then you are asking now that I didn't reveal something. I don't understand.
so I asked, whoever shows up, will they look like us? And you said that it likely will because they have the capability to. Is that a Palladian species, or will it be somebody else?
It depends on who you meet. I'm not saying we are the only species that will show up once disclosure becomes an
Okay.
open door.
So multiple are going to come forward at the same time?
Yes, your own government will come forward within reptilian suits. You will have multiple people trying to vie for your mindset because they are going to have to fight now for the belief that has been held on this planet for eons. And you will have a rising of the spiritual indigenous components saying, we told you so, we knew this from the beginning. But the church orders, the religions of your world will all come together trying to create a one world order. The religions of your world will try to come together. The religions of your world, not the spiritual community, not the indigenous community, the religions of your order, because they realize the only way to hold control is to say that there is one and that they are trying to be the one. And so therefore they are trying to be the one. So be careful about the religious orders as they try to then morph into the one world order. The indigenous, the get back with the earth, will know the truth, will see through the veil, they will see the true spirit, they will see the signature, the soul signature, that most will not be able to see until they finally understand.
And that kind of that jives with what I was thinking too, because to those organizations, it is survival.
Yeah, it's survival, absolutely. This is the only thing, and they are a business of religion. They are not about saving you to let you go to heaven. They do not care about that. They know everything that the universe has to hold, and they give you dogma and dogma and dogma and judgment and judgment and judgment. Do not ever believe these religious orders care about your soul. They care about their money, their power, and their presence in this world. And when they are extinguished, they will be extinguished from all avenues of this. And they will fight until their own death to keep that presence.
Did the Pleiadian society deal with the same transition? Did they
not
have
in
religions?
the same order, because we did not have the same instantiation or timeline that you do here. So no, I cannot tell you about what happened eons and decades and billions of years ago on our planet. But I can say this is what we predict to happen on your planet.
All right. So I'm going to recap a little bit what you said, is that when general disclosure comes, it'll be multiple species putting out their hand at the same time, and that basically a whole lot of the different human organizations, including religions, are going to be clamoring to stay relevant.
Yes, you're going to have many priests that think they are the devil, that they are the demon, because they are then being told on high that if they don't discount these immediately, that they will lose their position in society. They will lose their sacraments. And so they will immediately say you are, dining with demons. And you are just trying, right, to understand your broader reality. But they are going to say it so forcefully that so many who are in fear, that is the key component, people must be in fear that they will go to hell if they believe this other way. Once they realize they don't have to be in fear, they might consider another path. But until then, these people will try to lead with fear, and by leading with fear, they will try to tell them there is one way. And you will see the combining of religions. You might see the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians all become one. That will be the day, right? But when it does, I am telling you, it is not actually a great day, because they are doing it because it's the only way that they can feel like they can create order. It's like the Mennonites creating order out of the jungle by mowing it down, burning it down, and putting it into rows. Yeah. They are going to put religion into an order that you can try to still understand. And as they try to do that, they will lose some people. They will gain many more. And it will be a fight over what is right and what is wrong and who is actually telling the truth. And it will take deep conviction and voices to allow for the overcoming of that, because the religious order is the most powerful political party on your planet. And you don't understand that yet, but the religious orders are the most powerful political order on your entire planet.
I agree with you. So like I told Chris, I was just like, one of the axioms I just figured out with a guy who was homeless and now clamors to go to Boston to see his sister. It occurred to me that mankind likes to put mankind in God, where we should be putting God into mankind. And I was just like, that was a profound moment for me. I was just like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? What is happening? And I think he's starting to realize it too, which is great. It's hope. It's a good thing.
Yes, all you need is hope, and there are some bright shining lights. I am just trying to relay to you what will happen and unfold over the next decade. It will take a while for disclosure, acceptance, neutralization of different forces, becoming, and then a new way. New ways will arise, and the splitting of the world will happen because some people will not be able to understand that. And so they will be on such a different vibration. It will be like they're your neighbor, and yet, do you ever see your neighbors anymore? Tell me, do you see your neighbors anymore? How many neighbors do you actually see anymore? You live in this community. How many do you see?
I haven't seen. I saw a neighbor working on his yard today, but it was from a great distance.
You've seen one in how many months?
Many.
Yes. So what will happen is you will just not see them anymore. You are living in the same reality, in the same space, and yet you just don't even see them anymore.
Because they're just not on the same vibration, I guess.
Exactly. So they're operating in a different wavelength.
Speaking of that, this is a more technical question for your piloting and skills. So what I've come to understand is that we as humans can only see the visible spectrum and the IR, right? So there's very specific spectrum of electromagnetic energy. And I'm assuming that we're not seeing a whole craft. Is that true? Or do the craft that you travel in operate in multiple dimensions at the same time? Is that a possibility?
So when you say you don't see in multiple spectrums, yes, I would agree. When you say you don't see the whole craft, you are seeing the whole craft within your spectrum.
Yeah.
It's just filtered, so you're going to miss some information, right? Think of it like a filter on anything that you're trying to measure. You're going to only get what the filter allows you to get. It's like putting sunglasses on. Let's say they're polarized. You're going to get the polarization potential of that environment. You're not going to get the full. So you have to realize you are looking through a filter. You are seeing the filter, as is every species, because they all have a filter that they operate within. Are you not seeing the whole craft? I mean, you are seeing that craft within the filtered reality that you live within. Are you going to always see, is there potential to see more? Always. But who could always see more? The only potential I know is one person in particular. And I don't know that we even see our own potential, our own craft potential. We don't see in every dimension. We don't see in every wavelength. We don't see in all those things. We see within the now moment, in this now plane, within the filter of reality that we are given to sense it. So I think that is reality, is to have a perception of what you see and then to fill in the gaps with what you don't.
So for Pleaidians, we've talked to Pleiadians that have operated up to the 9th dimension, and I was wondering, depending on where you're at in the dimensions, what can you perceive?
So
or can you go between?
I can see up to the 9th dimension as myself. I see nothing more than I can filter within that reality. Again, I'm trying to say we still are born into a reality. No matter what dimension we are in, we are not the all. We are not back in our soulful field where we can perceive and sense all things to all things. So we still always have a filter on. We always have glasses on, despite if we're changing our glasses.
So you still have a physical existence with a filter.
Yes, but you're just now maybe more conscious that that filter changes across dimensions. It might, you might know how it changes. You might know what you're going to perceive in this place versus that place. You might understand how that happens, right? But you still are going to be filtered of the ultimate reality because while it might not be a complete simulation, it is a place that you came to be within a density, and this density provides a perspective. And so you can only see what you are allowed to see within this perspective.
Is that why alien aircraft crash? It seems difficult to just go.
Did I say my
Not you.
crap? No, it did not.
Others.
I did not say. I said Greys flying Andromedan ships into this third dimension reality. Greys flying their own archaic ships into this reality, a crash. That is what happens. There's not usually a higher dimensional crash that happens because we usually can invade because we usually have multiple pathways. Think of it like your F-35 back, in 2005 against the enemy. You were more advanced. I think that it is just about us being more advanced. We are more advanced than those things, but they are coming into your reality and then they are crashing. That is what happens.
Yeah.
Especially when your government, other governments target them.
Yeah, I bet. Operating as I assume that I'm assuming I don't know if it's true. I'm asking you. So if your craft that you pilot operates in multiple dimensions, is that the reason that you can avoid the laws of physics of our own, like pulling G's and doing some of those crazy maneuvers?
Yeah, we don't operate with the same physics that you do. We do not worry about gravity. We create our own gravitational fields through creating a magnetic well. So think of it like a black hole within your own space, time-space. So we'll create a hole in which we can pop through into another dimension.
That's it. Because you're creating your own gravity, you never feel a G. You could counteract a G.
No. We can feel G's if we come into your reality and try to fly within your time-space.
Okay.
But if we try to say, okay, well, we're going to come in and we're going to take this trajectory to land, yes, I'm feeling gravity. But if I say, I want to be here then, now, whatever, and I open the field and I use time-space to my benefit, I can say, I'm going to go, think of it like the movie. What was that 1980s movie? He had a hoverboard, right? And they went back in time.
Yes.
Yes. Or in future in time.
Yep.
So they would go...
Back to the future.
Yes, back to the future. So they would go back to the future. They would put in the time. They'd go, I want to go here. And they pop through time, space into that reality. That's basically what we do, but through a portal, because we create our own gravity well, where we can then pop through the gravity sphere of this third dimension reality, and we can go to wherever we want. If I then want to fly within your reality, where I am then seen, and I am seen flying within your reality, where I am not using unknown physics, or popping from here to there, and here, and here, and here, then I am using your physics to maneuver here, yes.
Okay.
And then I am stuck in your three-dimensional realm. But I like to rather say, okay, I am here and I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a trajectory from here to there. I'm just going to go here, then here, then here, then here. So I'm going to be in the bedroom in 2 seconds. I'm in the bedroom. Okay, now I'm in Reno. That is what I can do. I can open a gravitational well where I just pop through that portal and say, okay, I'm now going to end up back in Reno.
Because gravity affects both time and space.
Yeah, it is the conduit of this time-space reality within the third dimension.
Are there any other forces that we haven't really talked about in our own physics that you use to help?
Co-location, entanglement theory.
Okay.
A lot of those are key components. So if you're entangled with a component, you can just pop into that location by
And we're just on like the very basic level of quantum entanglement right now.
Right. So if I've been somewhere before, I can just say I want to go back because I am entangled with that. I have memory of that. And
Like a
therefore
dream.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah.